Peace. My name is Adisa Banjoko. Nickname is Bishop. I run 64 Blocks LLC here in the Peninsula, and I teach Jiu Jitsu, meditation, and chess.
And why are you here?
I'm here at the Afro Bushido Academy. It's been a great opportunity to share the benefits of Jiu Jitsu with young people who may not know about its value. You know what's been cool is that all of the kids from the beginning have been amazing. Like, I actually was curious about the vetting process for how these kids were selected because they were all amazing. And I mean that, every kid. Nobody thought they were too cool to try. Nobody thought that, I don't want to do this or whatever. Like, and I'm not used to that. You know what I'm saying? To be quite honest, as an educator, I taught in public schools and charter schools. I've lectured at universities, and there's always somebody who don't want to do something, except for here. And what that does is it opens up the ability to actually teach, and that exchange is phenomenal. What I've been really teaching is this concept about safety, position, and finish, right? Like, before you think about winning, or if someone really wants to harm you, before you think about beating them or whatever, you just want to be safe. How do I not take damage? And how do I go from not taking damage to getting to a great place? And then how do I go from being in a great place to ending it, right? But also conveying that ending it is actually where the nonviolence begins. Meaning, like, it doesn't have to end with punches or kicks or whatever. It can end with a conversation when you get to a good position where you cannot be harmed and things like that. By doing something that they didn't think that I could do, there was one kid who was much bigger than me, and I let him get on top of me, and I was like, all right, when I count to 3, you can strangle my neck hard as you can. And they were like, what? Because this kid was, again, much bigger than me. And I was like, and you just keep me down. And he held me down for about 1.5 seconds. And they were like, how did he do that? Right? So then they think that I'm magic, but really it's just the movement that's magic. And I teach them to move, and then they're doing the magic, right? So it's like helping them understand that, like, I'm not special. I just kept studying, and so I can do these things. So if they study, they too can do the things. And they understand that now.
What do you think a program like this does for a child's human growth and development?
I think what this kind of program does for a child's human growth and development is massive, because it really just kind of deals with, them getting within themselves, them being at peace with themselves. We did different meditative things with breathing and sometimes certain mantras to reconnect them to positive self-talk, as opposed to the negative self-talk that usually runs in our heads quietly in the background. And, you could see very quickly that its impact was there. And I think, beyond anything else, I know that to really be an effective teacher, the kids have to know that you care. And once they know that you care, they'll listen, they'll fall in line, they'll da-da-da-da. And I think all of the instructors did such a great job of being passionate about the kid and their well-being and their engagement, that the youth engagement was higher than you would have expected, because we were able to convey that we're really here for you and your development. And then they just fell in line. It's been pretty magical. I think the city, state, and counties from this coast to all coasts should do this, because if we're honest, American education has been in a state of crisis since at least the early 90s, at least, right? And while we live in an area, right, this area specifically is known for what? Innovation and technology, innovation and, how structures are built, reorganizing how old companies function to have new goals, new end games, new ideals. And we have to do that in education. It's a crime that we do it in business, but not in education. And so, I think programs like this prove that innovative models are not only necessary, but that they work. Keep doing what's in your heart. As long as you practice sincerely, whatever you really want will come to fruition. But you have to believe it, and you can't quit.